The world of Panasonic in a moment, but firstly, it's been a great week for boxing. We've had the King Corn Boxing Awards, an announcement from a special world champion, and another super fight at Sun City. This was the scene on Tuesday night at the Carlton Hotel.
The King Corn Annual Boxing Awards for 1991.
I'll give you the King Corn 1991 Prospect of the Year, Jan Bassman. I'm very glad to be Prospect of the Year because I've been working very hard to get this award.
Having a look at how the career has gone in the past and the plans for the future, tell us about them.
In the past, I'm glad I reached this top, and in the future, I like to be a world champion as soon as I can produce it, but I like to fight more internationally.
The fight of the year, Rusty de Roon against Gary Murray, and man of the year, Harold Fulbrecht.
In the year that you won Man of the Year award at the award ceremony, what was the highlight of 1991?
Well, I think the highlight of my career was definitely when Corey Saunders became the South African heavyweight champion. Corey is just a very colourful fighter. He's a great guy and he's young, and I expect a lot from Corey Saunders.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Boxer of the year, 5 times in a row, Brian Mitchell.
Well, Boxer of the Year, 5th time in a row, the year 1991, a special year for Brian Mitchell.
Yeah, most definitely. As I said earlier on, 1991, probably one of the greatest years of my 30 years of existence. Winning my second world title at that sweet revenge fight, and then my daughter being born in November last year. 1991 was just a fantastic year for me. But really, as I said, that sweet revenge fight, proving my critics wrong. So many people, 90% of the people, maybe 99% of them, critics and so-called boxing experts, predicted that there was no way I could win the second fight, especially without my WBA title. And I went there and I proved them wrong, and that was really self-achievement for me like you can't believe.
In Sandton today, Brian Mitchell announced his plans for 1992.
I've decided between myself and my promoters and my wife that I've reached the stage now where it is time to retire, and it's time to draw the line.
Well, from today, just Mr. and Mrs. Brian Mitchell. Brian, a relief, your retirement this morning?
Most definitely. I think I've been contemplating retiring for the last 3 years, and I'm sure Kathy's happy that I'm out of it now. There's a lot of pressure going to be taken off my shoulders, and it's just a fantastic feeling to know that I never have to get in there and fight for the world title again. It's a sad note as well, but it's great to know that I can get out of that awesome pressure that I've been through for the last 6 years as world champion.
Kathy, you must be very happy. Today it's over.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I would have liked it to have been sooner, but it's just as good.
Rodney Berman, a day of mixed feelings with Brian Mitchell's retirement this morning?
Yes, happy and sad. Sad that I'll never have the opportunity of travelling again with the ultimate road warrior, but happy that he's achieved what we set out to achieve, and even in retirement, nothing can be taken away from him. He's got out at the top.
I'm very happy for Brian because I know the feeling. I retired as an undefeated South African champion, and it felt like I've got the whole world off my shoulders. Brian Mitchell retiring as a world champion, undefeated WBA champion, and undefeated IBF champion certainly feels that he's got a lot of pressure off him. And I know that feeling, so I'm very happy for Brian. He got out of the game at the right time.
He'll always be a champion, both as a boxer and a person. And I think that's how we'd like to remember him. And I think that's the perfect time for him to now retire and call it a day at the very pinnacle of his career.
Also announced today, the vacant title left open now by Brian Mitchell. Well, the chances of it coming back to South Africa are very strong indeed. Jackie Gungaluza up against John Molina. Jackie, a great opportunity for you.
Yeah, it's a great honor to have a great opportunity to fight for the world title. And lucky, I know Molina, I know him losing and winning.
He, of course, has been involved in some bruising battles with Tony Lopez. Those Molina-Lopez fights were crackers. He is a fighter, isn't he?
Even myself, I was involved in big fights like November Njengila and Jerome Godeni and Stanley Martin. Actually, I don't want to have a big mouth for him, but I'm prepared to win the fight.
Now for the world of Panasonic.
Soos wat u vroeër in die program gehoor het Suid-Afrika se junior liggewig bokskampioen van die wêreld, Brian Mitchell, vandag afstand gedoen van sy IPF-titel. Ons is gelukkig om vanaand vir Brian hier saam met ons in die ateljee te hê. Ons sê hartlike goeienaand aan jou, Brian.
Dankie.
Maar net voor ons gaan gesels, Brian tree uit as 'n onoorwonne kampioen. Hy was natuurlik ook onoorwonne as kampioen van die wêreld boksvereniging. Maar voordat ons ons gesprek met hom voortsit, kyk ons eers na hierdie agtergrondbydra wat saamgestel is deur Anton Snyman van ons sportredaksie.
Brian Mitchell het reeds op 9-jarige ouderdom die eerste keer bokshandskoene aangetrek. Hy het by die Ellis Park Boksklub aangesluit en het sy amateurloopbaan 10 jaar later by die Mayfair Boksklub afgesluit. In Mei 1981 het hy die vrokkie vir die beroepskruit verruil en op 19 Augustus 1981 het hy onder die wakende oog van Willie de Wheel aan sy eerste beroepsgeveg deelgeneem. Mitchell het aan 47 gevegte deelgeneem en net een daarvan vroeg in sy loopbaan teen Jacob Murake verloor. Op 2 November 1985 het hy en Murake by Sun City in 'n herontmoeting te mekaar te staan gekom. Die aand het byna die einde van Mitchell se loopbaan beteken. Hy het Murake met 'n uitklophou in die 12de ronde verslaan. Murake het kort daarna aan beserings wat hy in die geveg opgedoen het, beswyk.
Maar daar genoeg tyd oor wees.
Daar is 'n pragtige regter van Brian Mitchell op die punt van die kaakbeen.
Maar daar genoeg tyd oor wees. Dis verby. Dis verby, die handdoek is in die kruit. Brian Mitchell. Uitgeladen soos 'n jong bulkalf wat nou net hier in hierdie grasgroen veld na die mooi reën losgelaat is. Hy is bly.
Mitchell het besluit om uit te tree, maar na beraadslaging met sy afrigter en bestuurder het hy van besluit verander. Mitchell is vir sy harde werk en toewyding beloon en op 27 September 1986 het hy die kans gekry om teen die junior liggewig kampioen van die WBA te boks. Sy teenstander Alfred de Lyn van Panama, die plek Sun City. Mitchell het die aand Suid-Afrika se 6de wêreldkampioen geword toe hy Lyn met 'n uitklophou in die 10de ronde verslaan het. Beslis die hoogtepunt in Mitchell se loopbaan.
Ja, nog een. Als Lyn nog één keer afgeslaan wordt, natuurlijk is het het einde van die gevecht.
Ja, daar zijn we voorbij. Zuid-Afrika is weer wereldkampioen. Brian Mitchell.
Hy het daarna sy titel 'n rekordaantal 12 keer suksesvol in die buiteland verdedig en het gepas die bynaam The Road Warrior gekry. Op 15 Maart verlede jaar het hy en Tony Lopez in Sacramento, Lopez se tuisdorp, te mekaar te staan gekom om die titels van die WBA en IBF te verenig. Hoewel Mitchell en al sy aanhangers geglo het dat hy die geveg gewen het, het die beoordelaars beslis dat die geveg gelykop geëindig het. 'n teleurgestelde Mitchell het wraak gesweer. En 6 maande later, nadat Mitchell van sy WBA-titel afstand gedoen het, het die herontmoeting plaasgevind en wat die aand gebeur het, is reeds geskiedenis. Mitchell het, soos hy dit gestel het, Lopez se ore van sy kop afgeboks en die geveg oortuigend met punte gewen. Hy het ook die eerste Suid-Afrikaner geword wat 2 wêreldtitels kon wen.
Harry Davis scores at 117 to 111. Mike Liana scores at 116 to 112 for the winner. And new champion, Brian Mitchell.
Mitchell se toewyding, harde werk en prestasies het ook nie ongesiens verbygegaan nie. Hy is 3 keer as sportman van die jaar aangewys, was 6 keer Suid-Afrika se bokser van die jaar, is as sportman van die dekade aangewys en het die staatspresidentstoekenning 6 jaar agtereenvolgens ontvang. En vandag het die einde van die era aangebreek.
Die einde van die era, Brian. Hoewel jy 3 maande gelede besluit dat jy gaan dit doen, het dit nou finaal aangebreek. Hoe voel jy? Wat gaan deur jou kop en hart?
Well, it's sad in a sense, but I'm also happy in another sense, because there's a lot of pressure being taken off me now. Being a current world champion and going to fight every fight in another country. And every time just preparing to defend your world title, because you know that your challenger wants the title so badly. And everybody just expected me to win every time as well, and I expected so much even of myself that there was a lot of pressure on my shoulders. So it feels now, well, 3 months ago when I decided, it wasn't official, I've been playing with the idea. It feels great though to be retired, and just sad that I'm going to miss. I've had 21 years of the sport, and I had a great innings, and I'm just thankful for that.
Ja.
Brian, uittrede is 'n belangrike dag. Maar waarom presies tree jy uit? Het jy genoeg gehad van boks of het jy genoeg geld?
Zeker nooit genoeg geld.
Ja, nooit genoeg. Wel, hopelijk al twee. Je weet, ik heb een paar rand gemaakt en ik heb genoeg gevechten gehad. Ik heb 47 gevechten gehad. Ik heb 14 wereldtitelgevechten gehad. En voor dit heb ik 9 SA-titelgevechten gehad. So, het is een lang loopbaan voor mij. Ik is baie moeg voor die sport nou.
Maar baie sportmanne kondig hulle uittrede aan en dan 'n kort rukkie daarna dan tree hulle terug tot die sportsoort en jy laat die deur waarwyd oop om terug te keer. Jy sê as jy genoeg betaal kan word, sal jy terugkeer. Is dit nie?
Well, yes, you know, without at the press conference when I announced my retirement, I think without trying to contradict myself, I did say that, you know, if a $3 or $4 million purse had to be offered to me to fight a Zuma Nelson or Jeff Fennick, which is a fight I'm sure the whole world would want to see, I think I can still beat them because I'm retiring undefeated and my last fight was a great fight for me. So I've got to keep the door open for that, but I'd like to be totally retired now. I don't think I'm going to get a $3 or $4 million offer, but, you know, I've got to be realistic about it.
En die moontlikheid van so 'n geveg, bestaan dit nog?
Ek weet nie, dit hang af van die groot promoters in die wêreld en of hulle uitsien om so 'n groot geveg by mekaar te sit. Maar ek glo nie ek sal ooit weer aan kunnen aansit nie.
En as jy dit nie gaan doen, Brian, wat gaan jy doen met jou lewe en jou tyd vorentoe?
Wel, ek het 'n paar besighede. I've got a promotions company where I do motivation talks and autograph sessions, appearances at companies. And then I do a bit of spec building in my spare time. I'm finishing a house off in Bedford View in the area where I live. I do a lot of PRO work for Nashua, who I've been so closely associated with the last 4 years. And then I've got shares in fighters with my promoters, Rodney Berman. Corey Saunders, the South African heavyweight champion, is one of the fighters I've got shares in. And I'm looking at buying into other fighters. I do commentary work for other stations, boxing commentating. So I'm quite a busy man. I've got quite a lot on my plate.
And then, of course, there's the family.
And then there's a family, and that's very important, obviously. I'm a family man, and I can spend more time with my kids now, and that's exciting for me.
Ja. As gevolg van die houding teenoor die Suid-Afrikaanse politiek, moes jy die meeste van jou titelgevegte oor see veg. Jy moes fisiek rondreis. Hoe het dit altyd ingepas met jou familie?
Het was baie streng vir my, maar ek het my familie saamgevat. Ek het al my kinders saamgevat na al my gevegte. En ek het so 4 weke of so voor die geveg Amerika toe gevlieg en hulle 2 weke voor die geveg na my oefenplek toe gekom. So hulle was al die tyd by my.
Nou, Candice, wat nou 2 maande oud is ook daar oorkant gebore. En nou dat ons van jou kinders praat, sou jy jou seuns aanmoedig om te boks? Dit is so 'n bloedige sport.
It's a common question that most people ask me, but I think I didn't have the options available to me as a youngster. You know, when I started boxing at 9 years old, we didn't even have television in this country. And I think we couldn't afford a television even when it did come out when I was about 14. So I think my kids, there's so much available to them. They already play around with my golf clubs. They've got, my son is 5 years old, he's playing tennis already, he's taking tennis lessons and swimming lessons, and he's starting soccer. So there's so much available. If they want to box, by all means, you know, I'll take them. But I don't think they want to go through the hardship that I had to go through.
Ja, is genoeg ander goed om te doen.
Ja, daar was geen alternatief vir my nie.
Ja. As ons praat van Suid-Afrikaanse boksers, ons het altyd die teleurstelling gehad van Suid-Afrikaners wat wêreldtitels wen en dan die eerste keer wat hulle hom verdedig verloor. Jy's feitelik die enigste bokser wat werklik die mas opgekom het. Waar skryf jy dit toe? Dissipline?
Dissipline, definitief, ja. Ek dink al die wêreldkampioens wat ons voorheen gehad het voor my, toe hulle die wêreldtitel wen, toe vergeet hulle bietjie van die dissipline. I think, you know, once they reach that ultimate peak, that high of winning a world title, they just lost it a bit, and they didn't realize that every challenger you fight wants to win that world title desperately.
Kan mense vinger wys hier na die afrigting in Suid-Afrika, na die administrateurs, want dit kan tog nie net die bokser wees nie.
Ja, is nie net die bokser nie, dit hang af baie van die afrigter and the advisors, you know, the type of advice you get. And we have had a problem in the country in the past with trainers. But as I said to them this morning, I think I'm very optimistic about sport in this country. And our trainers are learning all the time, our boxers are learning. And at the moment, ons het 3 wêreldkampioene nou in die land. En ek hoop in 10 jaar se tyd om 10 wêreldkampioene
Ja, met die deure, ja. En met die deure wat oopgaan is daar natuurlik nou nuwe geleenthede en ja.
So ek is baie optimisties.
As jy mens kyk na die aard van boks, jy sal nou dit meer as enigiets anders weet, die bloedsport wat hy genoem word, die aggressievlak wat met hom saamgaan, kon jy altyd die twee skei, jou persoonlike en jou professionele lewe?
Yes, most definitely. I'm a totally different person when I'm preparing for a fight and when I get in the ring to fight. Even my wife can tell you, when I walk down to the ring, to get into the ring to fight, I'm so psyched up and motivated for the event that I don't even see her, I don't see anybody, and I'm just in another world. I just go into a different level. So I'm a totally different person inside the ring and outside the ring. I'm just, I had to make myself two different people to be as successful as I was. There was no way I could be Mr. Nice Guy in the ring, and it's a tough sport, it's a grueling sport, and as I said to Jan, everybody wants your title, and it's a dangerous sport, so you've got to keep your hands up and you've got to do your homework, and when you get in there, you fight to win. You obviously fight to hurt the guy. And outside the ring, I don't hurt anybody.
Jy sê dit is 'n gevaarlike sport. Beskou jy dit werklik as 'n sport?
Well, Jan, I try to make an art of it. I think my face can tell the story too, that I didn't take major punishment except for some bad cuts. I've never had a broken nose or broken jaw. I've got my own teeth. So
en ons het al rugby spelers gesien wat dieselfde probleem het.
So I try to make an art of boxing, and you can make an art of it. The idea is to hit and not be hit. But, at the end of the day, one has to be realistic. I can't say it's not a dangerous sport because you do get hit on the head. And it is a dangerous sport, and one has to not overstay their welcome in the sport. So hopefully I've chosen the right time to when to retire.
Brian, jy het oorleef en jy het die hoogste sport bereik. Ons sê baie dankie aan jou vir die inkom en alle sukses met jou toekomsplanne.
Baie dankie.
Groete.
Dankie.